Before I get into this video, I wanted to let you know that it's been highly requested that I start a channel dedicated to exposing tyrant cops. Not only doing the commentary, but also getting out on the street myself and doing my own interviews and my own audits. So I started that channel on the YouTube platform. It's called Here's the Deal. The reason I'm calling it Here's the Deal is because Here's the Deal is what a tyrant law enforcer who's supposed to be a public servant serving and protecting, when actually they end up harassing and collecting, that's the first thing they say when they're about to lay down the law and extract more of your rights and extort you. So I'll leave the link to the channel and to the last two videos in the description and in the pinned comment if this platform supports pinned comments. And if you go over to the Here's the Deal channel from this platform, let me know you came from here in the comment section. Here's the video. Meant to deal with this the other day. This is interesting. I'm not a Gateway Pundit fan because they're involved in the left versus right paradigm lie, which completely exacerbates the whole paradigm that we're trying to expose here. But it looks like, well, you know, I'll leave it to you what you think. There are 3,839 comments on this. It was released on September 30th. Been meaning to get it out to you. It says, fully, you know what, former CNN contributor Marc Lamont Hill suffers a heart attack and is hospitalized with blood clots, blasts MDA player critical of COVID-19 84 VAXX. I don't have it pulled up here, but Marc Lamont Hill literally says that what he did, as reported by the Gateway Pundit, was a lie. All they did was report the sequence of events. They say former CNN commentator Marc Lamont Hill had a heart attack and was hospitalized with deep vein thrombosis and blood clots in his lungs. Yes, he did bow down at the altar of Jabbo. Marc Lamont Hill is only 42 years old. On Wednesday, Hill criticized Orlando Magic player Jonathan Isaac for being outspoken about his decision not to take you know what. Hill said, blasting Isaac in a tweet, "This sounds smart to people who don't know things." And here's what this guy says right here.
Jonathan, Josh Robbins with the...
This is frickin' sad. This is frickin' sad. Listen to what this guy says right here.
Athletic. What is it about the vaccine that makes you hesitant to get it?
I would start with I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic, and is still evolving. I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of
Wouldn't it be funny if he just quoted Anthony Fauci? By the way, you know, Anthony Fauci says in all the history of respiratory borne illnesses and all of virology, asymptomatic transmission is never the driver of pandemic. So if you're going to ask me if I'm not afraid of like transmitting something, I'm healthy. And according to Anthony Fauci and all the history of virology, that's asymptomatic transmission is not a thing. According to Anthony Fauci, not according to me. And then Marc Lamont Hill says that what this guy says sounds smart to people who are dumb, who don't know things. This basketball player sounds intelligent to me. It sounds like he pretty much knows what he's doing, and his reasoning seems logically sound.
Having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID with or without having the vaccine. I would say, honestly,
wouldn't it be funny if he like rattled off? What if he had his phone and he goes, "Okay, Google." I wanted to make sure my phone didn't go off. Pfizer criminal history. You want to know my reason? Do you trust criminal organizations who are known habitually, according to the Silicon Valley oligarchs, to engage in corrupt and criminal marketing practices? Do you think they're still not doing that? What if he said that? bribing physicians? Do you trust companies that have a long and sordid and habitual history of bribing physicians and suppressing adverse trial results? Did you know this about the company that you're trying to drive everybody toward? Did you know that Carrie Mullis, the creator of the PCR test, says that you're not supposed to use the test as they're using it today as a diagnostic tool? Did anybody here know that? Anybody ever heard of Carrie Mullis? Care to see a video? Do you want to know what Carrie Mullis, the Nobel Prize winner for science in 1994, said about Dr. Anthony Fauci?
The craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. I would say that's a couple of the reasons that, I would say I'm hesitant at this time, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that it is, anyone's reason to come out and say, well, this is why or this is not why. It should just be their decision, and, loving your neighbors, not just loving those that agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't.
There was one, I don't know if it was this guy, but he said, it looks like we don't own our bodies anymore. I thought it was this guy. I thought we were going to hear that. But Trish played with a clip when we were coming back from the gym last night, and one of the basketball players, I think it was this guy, was it the Orlando Magic? Oh, Trish isn't here. He said something like, looks like we don't own our bodies anymore. Because there was a guy who actually took it. He ended up taking it. On Wednesday, a fully VAXX Marc Lamont Hill revealed he suffered a heart attack and had deep vein thrombosis, which caused a pulmonary embolism. And here's the actual tweet right here from Marc Lamont Hill. Let's see, why isn't that opening right there? I am home and recovering after a rough week. My successful Achilles surgery on Friday, and that's what they blamed the deep vein thrombosis on. I was rushed to the ER on Saturday. This is Marc Lamont Hill after having the VAXX, which he got in February. After suffering a mild heart attack, turns out I had a DVT, deep vein thrombosis, which caused a pulmonary embolism. Blood clots nearly completely blocked my lungs. Nearly completely blocked your lungs from an Achilles surgery, huh? All right. Okay. I believe you, of course. Preventing blood flow to my heart. The doctors told me I was very lucky not to have died. Fortunately, I received excellent medical care from the team at Temple University. The doctors accurately assessed my condition and removed the clots. My body is worn out and sore, but I couldn't feel more grateful to be alive and on the path of recovery. So you got Gateway Pundit actually just reporting the sequence of events. Marc Lamont Hill on Thursday said, the notion that he developed blood clots from you know what is ridiculous and completely baseless. He says, I'm seeing videos and tweets from anti-Vaxxers saying that I developed blood clots from the VAXX. This is ridiculous and completely baseless. And so is your assertion that you didn't. For some, it's a cynical and dishonest claim. For others, it's a lack of understanding of how medicine and science works. After my successful Achilles surgery on Friday, I was rushed to the ER on Saturday. I suffered a mild heart, and we just read that. So it's interesting. And then this one right here, this NFL football player, this is just shake your head material right here. NFL receiver Beasley takes jab at Bill fans amid his stance on the COVID-19 and 4 VAXX. Buffalo Bills wide receiver Cole Beasley criticized the team's fans, suggesting on Monday morning that he's been booed because he refused to get, you know what? Only place I get booed is at our home stadium, Beasley tweeted. Then some of the people want me to take pictures and sign autographs. I thought Bills fans were the best in the world. Where'd they go? If the VAXX works, now here's a little bit of logic, sprinkling into a sea of madness. If the VAXX works, then why do VAXX people need to be protected from the un-VAXX? That's what he says in his tweet. Beasley became one of NFL's most outspoken critics of the VAXX. Wouldn't it be awesome if hundreds upon hundreds of his fellow football colleagues did the same thing? Is this the guy, the only guy in the NFL that's got balls? I don't know. Maybe there are more, but boy, they sure do shine like stars for liberty when they just stand up for what's right, huh? while everybody else is just going in the opposite direction for what's wrong. Beasley became one of the NFL's most outspoken critics of the $4 billion company that's $4 billion indebted to people that they've harmed, according to, government reports. And restrictions and several viral social media posts over the summer, at one point saying he would retire before being forced to be VAXX to play in the league. And then maybe in 2 years they'll hire him back and they're like, oh wow, you're like one of the few who can still play. Beasley read a prepared statement to the media on July 28th, adding that he planned to have no further comments on social media about the vaccine, but he has not stuck to his word. Monday's tweet came hours after the Bills' 40-0 thrashing of the Houston Texans, of which Beasley had 2 catches for 16 yards. It was the second game. Listen to this. It was the second game at Highmark Stadium since Erie County and the Bills implemented a mandatory you-know-what policy. All fans in attendance had to show proof that they bowed down at the altar of Jabbo. And then check this out. Proof of at least one dose, at least one visit to Jabbo. Proof of complete obedience at the altar of Jabbo will be required starting with October 31st game against the Miami Dolphins. You can't go see the Bills after October 31st unless you visited the cultic altar of Jabbo twice. Fully VAXX individuals can still transmit the you-know-what they say. Same old narrative.
Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.